quote Monty Python. And now for something completely different. I am on a gravel bike loaded down with way too much gear. It is Wednesday. I'm gonna go get on a train and ride to Whitefish, Montana, ride around Glacier for 3 days, and then ride the train back. We'll see what that ends up looking like. We'll see what I end up recording. Come on along.
In September 2024, I went on a week-long bikepacking trip with friends. Most of them I know through a small group at our church, and Andrew, who caddied for me at Fox Hollow for TRGA, was my riding partner through most of the week. Buying a gravel bike was my ticket to this adventure. Without it, I would miss out on these annual trips. Missing last year's trip is what pushed me toward finding a gravel bike, and in February I bought one sight unseen from Facebook Marketplace, setting this whole chain of events in motion.
Here's something a little different. Never filmed anything bike related for the channel before, but we're going to start because that's where my biking journey is. It's at the start. This is a box. It has stuff in it. We'll see what's in it. Here's a box. We got, I don't know, like dirty underwear? No, just a rag. It's going to go on like that, maybe. Here's something else that might be useful. Some of you are probably wondering, like, you already have a bike right there, already have a second bike. Well, that's my mountain bike, and I am not a mountain biker either. But this is not a mountain bike. This is a gravel bike, because apparently I like pain and suffering. I'm going to get into gravel biking because some of my friends are into gravel biking, specifically bikepacking, which sounds a little bit like camping, but a whole lot more work, and not having the stuff you need when you get there. So that sounds perfect. We'll just do that. This is not an ASMR video, but I bring that up because I just watched one where a guy built a bike, and gotta be honest, fell asleep. So that's why this is not one of those. Also, why you should get checked for sleep apnea. Just another thought. Right, I'm gonna have to message the seller and let him know he did a fantastic job. The bike appears to be a bike. It does appear to have 2 places to put pedals, though it does not have the pedals on it currently. I have not ordered pedals or the little clippy guys, whatever those are called, because I know things about bicycles. Right about now, I'm wishing I had one of those fancy bike stands, the big blue guy from Park Tool or whoever makes those other than Park Tool. New bike day though, huh? Apparently that's a thing. It's something bike people celebrate. I will adjust that more when I understand what the heck I'm doing. But for now, we'll just get into it. We may get to worry about whether or not I've got this on right while riding it, which will be exciting. I think that's what you're supposed to do with bikes. Hop on and push your legs up and down. I don't know. I've seen it done, you know. A little bit of Loctite on this guy, so that's good. Makes me wonder if there should be Loctite on all these guys. If that would be better. Loctite's one of those things where a little dab will do ya. Not one of those things where the bigger the job, the better the job. What do I know? guy I bought this from, in his Facebook cover photo, appeared to be part of some kind of bicycle team at NC State. And I asked him how he was going to package it, and he showed me, pictures of how it was packaged before it was shipped. And I kind of just trusted the guy who was going to ship it without breaking anything. And you know what? He did. Just goes to show, gotta trust people. Okay, next thing I'm going to need is somewhere to put my butt. So let's get a seat on this thing. This is where I intend to sit. Minimum insert. Now we'll just start with it. Insert it the minimum amount. And go from there.
How is it?
It is a bicycle. The Trek Checkpoint ALR 5 aluminum frame gravel bike. A whole bunch of mounts for bags and bottles and stuff.
Dinner shirt.
Yep, sounds good. I'll have to message dude and tell him you did a good job. Looking great.
Video recording our rollout.
A little bit of it, yeah.
Ooh, this is a new kind of game.
I knew Travis was a good addition to this group. I mean, I've known it for a while. This just confirms it.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. All right, now we shallst.
Felt it.
Chelsea.
This thing's heavy enough, it feels like it needs a seatbelt.
We set out from our church on a Wednesday evening, heading for the Amtrak station on the north side of La Crosse. Before Montana, I had been on one overnight bikepacking trip in June with 2 of the other 5 guys on this adventure. An April trip had been snowed out. I had only ridden the bike about 7 times before this adventure. 2 break-in rides in March assured me the bike was usable, and I trained on a borrowed stationary trainer in the garage through the summer. I did a couple of hour-long rides around my house with gravel and hill climbs to ensure that my gear wouldn't fall apart, and I was satisfied with my setup. But as I left for the train to Whitefish, Montana, I knew I wasn't physically prepared for the miles and climbs ahead. Once we arrived and checked in, we joked, stretched, and relaxed until the train came. Energy, excitement, anxiety, and anticipation were all at their peak. After an antsy wait, the train arrived a few minutes late.
Oh my gosh, Andrew's is incredibly light.
He said it was light.
What do you see?
You hand mine up.
It's not even a rack. We could have just left the bags right on. Oh, you're gonna. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's just putting them there for now. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay.
17. Nope. Seat number 17. 21. Right now you sit apart, but eventually you might have to sit together. So 23. I got you all set.
Got it.
I had never ridden an Amtrak before. The ride would be 26 hours each way on the Empire Builder. The first leg of the trip would be mostly stationary and restful.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our last stop was at La Crosse, Wisconsin. Our next scheduled station stop in approximately 30 minutes will be that of Winona, Minnesota.
I charged my electronics, ate as well as the train snack bar allowed, did some recreational reading for the first time in a long time, and absorbed the scenery. For a full day, we took in the sights through North Dakota and most of Montana. After hours of the Great Plains, excitement bubbled at the sight of any elevation. As the sun set on Thursday, the Rockies came into view. I grabbed a short nap once the sun set, and my travel partners woke me up about 15 minutes before we reached Whitefish.
Excuse me.
Your stuff if you want, or
Sounds good.
do you want me to go grab a bike, or you want your bags?
We can grab bikes.
Okay.
We met BK in Whitefish. He joined us by car from Colorado. The others on the trip were Kyle, Scott, and Tom. This train bike camping trip had been a years-long dream for Tom. He planned the routes and made all the arrangements. We stashed our train-only needs in BK's car before making our way through the dark to Whitefish Lake State Park, where our biking would truly begin the next morning.
Out?
Rolling.
Birds.
Gosh, not a bad view to leave.
Couple of honkers.
Our biking journey started with a proper breakfast in downtown Whitefish. Lula's did not disappoint.
Ooh, those mountains. There's a big one up there somewhere.
day for this.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Imagine how much it would be different if it was icy rain or blistering hot.
I was gonna say any colder or hotter would be less ideal. Hanging out in the shade, getting some breeze.
The steady crunch of gravel and rhythmic sounds of pedal strokes were the real soundtrack of this trip.
"10 miles an hour seems like a good plan." Not up the hill.
The bear bell contributed a chime to the more remote sections of the journey, and the can of bear spray we all carried bounced and jostled with any significant bump.
All right. Just straight downhill, right?
The roads on Friday were pretty ideal for our ride, and for the gravel portions of Friday's travel, traffic was minimal, as many of these roads were closed to vehicles. The paved portions of the journey made up for it, but nobody had any close calls with vehicles on this journey.
Incredible trip. We're about a third of the way through day one of riding. It's pretty incredible country. Tom's picked some great routes. Just a little bit of pavement before we jump over more gravel. Really loving it so far.
grabbed food and drinks for lunch in West Glacier near the entry to Glacier National Park, and we carried our haul to Fish Creek picnic site on Lake McDonald for our rest and refuel stop.
Biggest problem I've had so far is that they're all cool shots. Not a lack of scenery. Really tucked back in here now.
It's always crazy. Like, these routes, like, in the middle of town, got a lot of places going on all of a sudden. And then 15 minutes later, you're in the middle of the woods, gravel road.
Yep. Whew.
Yeah.
I think this is somewhere we could stop and eat.
This is the spot. It's all right, gentlemen?
She's a beard, Clark.
Something real nice.
After the break, my body started pushing back harder, which was really poor timing since the ride was just getting serious.
Go ahead if you're ready to keep rolling.
Traffic call.
We wanted to make sure we linked back up.
Yeah. Much appreciated. Still looking for that fifth wind.
Rest your roll, homie. What do you want to do?
Get another 30 seconds here. Get some blood back in the thighs. 49.87 miles. Yeah.
No point stopping here.
No, I mean, this isn't the spot, although it is a spot.
What's today supposed to be, 55?
52, I think. Yeah.
One squirrel suit.
Yeah, a little firing down there.
Oh yeah. This is awesome. So we get enough of my starter.
There.
That's yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of these.
I'm gonna roll over and die right now. That's good.
And I almost did, literally, roll over this cliff and die. No.
As the Big Friday ride ended after 54 miles, we made camp at the remote Quartz Creek campground on the western edge of Glacier National Park. A celebratory beer, some freeze-dried dinner, and a refill of water filtered from the outflows of Quartz Lake. We didn't bother making a fire. Instead, we all crashed for the night really quickly. We woke up to a hard frost, frozen fingers and toes, and heavy, aching bodies. The crisp morning air bit at our fingers as we packed up camp, the scent of pine and earth filling our lungs. We broke camp after freeze-dried breakfast and headed up to Bowling Lake. Some of us were more eager to get going than others. Wildflowers helped lighten the mood, if not the load.
Car back. Four hound. Two
A
cars
lot of cars on the
back.
way up.
3 cars back. It's a convoy.
That's not a giggle, that's a cackle.
What? Oh, we're going back?
The climb into Bowman Lake on somewhat fresh legs and the mostly downhill ride out to Pole Bridge were my favorite parts of this journey. The length and pace of this trip allowed us to test our legs and our lungs, to test and also settle our minds, and to connect with one another as the miles piled on.
Is your brother still going to Florida?
Yeah, he's in Crestview. Has been for a month and a half.
So then, row down, does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, we did the one in this year before we left,
Yeah, I know.
but I don't know what next year looks like. May have to do a little more work travel and save up some sky miles or something. If I had to guess, I'd say it'll be me flying down there, or
Yeah.
halfway is about Paducah, Kentucky. 9-hour drive from both of us. 9+. Anything's possible. I think we'll try to keep it going, but
He committed it as you. He feels like that you might be more in there.
he says I'm more in than he is, but
No.
I think he's into it. It's less important to me now that I've got
Yeah.
TRGA and I've got other competitive outlets,
Yeah. Yeah.
but especially first couple of years I was in Wisconsin, I was into it.
It's a good motivator to actually continue to improve.
Correct. And I have. I mean, this year I shot 79 at a really tough course. He shot 87, which he said was a good day for him on that course. And I went out and shot, for handicap purposes, I think it's like a 3rd or 4th best round I've ever played.
Wow.
Just had a good day.
as they say in Wisconsin. Nice one.
Yep, slap your knee, pitter patter.
The miles and climbs wore on me once we crossed into Flathead National Forest. I sent the rest of the guys ahead as I attempted the final ascent to the Red Meadow Lake campground.
In the middle of the last little climb on day 2 of biking. Biking in Glacier National Park, and now the National Forest next door. I am beat. Physically exhausted. Kind of hit a wall yesterday around the 40-mile mark. Ended up doing 54 miles. So this is day 2. We're up over 30 miles. I hesitate to look to see what the actual number is. Woke up to frost this morning, and it took me until I had the shoes off at Bowman Lake, walking around on the rocks in the sun, before my toes actually thawed out a little bit. 4 of the guys got in the water. I did not. The GoPro decided to go a little amateur on me this morning. The lithium battery was just too cold, I think. But we got to Bowman Lake. There's some punchy climbing in there, but doable. And Bowman Lake was absolutely gorgeous. And we got down to Pole Bridge. Still got some huckleberry pastries on board here. But I'm ready for some downhill for sure. And another night of rest, which I badly need. And not that I didn't suspect it already, but I'm learning why my nearly 70-pound bike and gear is too much. Because it is. It's a lot. So while I can keep up in the flat, I cannot keep up on a climb. And when you know it, in National Park and National Forest, famous for mountains, there's some climbing. So I'm pushing bike up the hill here, which is itself a good workout, but my biking muscles are toast for the day. Some pad thai chicken, freeze dry meal in a bag to look forward to here in about a mile. So I'm just gonna hoof it. We can make everything right with the roll by morning, get more food in the system, and hit it for the last day, and hike back to Whitefish. Or hopefully ride, or coasting and pedaling. Another 30, I think 32 miles tomorrow, but a lot more downhill. Averaging downhill by a pretty long way.
Reaching the top of that final climb on Saturday should have felt like a turning point for me, but my body was completely drained and I badly needed to get to the pit toilet at our campsite.
Oh wow.
The view along the lake was a breathtaking and welcome sight, but it took some time before a sense of accomplishment overcame the feelings of failure.
It's a hell of a climb. I don't think I could do that, even starting a pole bridge. I think pulling 70 pounds on the bike is just not suited for that. I could use one lower gear too.
That's the big thing too.
So we camping over here, or is he just drying stuff out?
Yeah, he's I was thinking about going right here. And then Tom and Andrew are thinking down by the water down there.
Yeah. No shortage of huckleberry.
Oh yeah. That'll be good for after dinner.
Uh-huh. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Got it?
Yeah. Thanks. Right, well, it appears I made it. There's the gear. Last night's crap airing out.
Water for hot drinks. I'm out of cocoa. Okay.
I felt the weight of being last in line for a while, and probably not just the extra pounds I carried on my bike. Only after dinner did the sense of bigger adventure overtake the soreness, pain, and defeat of the miles up to this point.
There's plenty of wood up here. It's been pre-cut.
The scenery at Red Meadow Lake was breathtaking from late afternoon Saturday through mid-morning Sunday.
Tending to it. Yes, yes. 2, 3. Do it all.
The night sky as the sun set and through the night was unlike any I'd ever seen. The mountain air and lack of light pollution out there almost made up for letting the frigid night air into the tent.
Lighter didn't in there this time. About my own lighter.
Oh, maybe put it in my ditty bag.
That's okay, I've got one. I just wanted to make sure you.
Yeah, in fact, it is in my ditty bag, so I can't put it in there.
When we awoke Sunday morning, we made a fire to warm our extremities after another frosty night and enjoyed our last camp meal. want to be part of this? Hearing none.
Tell me when you're gonna start.
Going.
Yes! Look at that boil.
Sizzle, sizzle.
Nothing like a little vertigo in the morning.
Yeah, I've nothing frozen this morning. Campfire kept the toes in a liquid state. Actually a little surprised at how not bad I feel at this moment. I mean, the legs are definitely aching, but they're not immediately saying no. The butt's doing okay. Yeah.
It sounds like the can be kind of technical going down, but not like physical.
Yeah, they said bumpy. Gentlemen, I think this is where I leave you for now.
Yeah.
Trailers are not recommended, so
See you in a bit.
yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
You guys enjoy your day.
Thanks.
We'll see you.
Everyone was happy with the idea that it would be mostly downhill to Whitefish this morning, but some of the guys yearned for one more steep climb. However, there was still plenty of pedaling on the way to town, and in the end, I didn't feel I missed a thing by taking the more direct route instead.
This little part right here is worth it too. Every little part's worth it. It's all part of the experience. Yeah, just keeping the brakes warm. Also trying to stay on the uphill side here where it's less washed out. Get some feeling back in the hands. Yikes. Yep, steep and ruddy, just like the guy said.
Awful ending the day up the
Yeah, this is steeper and ruddier than the route we did take. Just a few. I was just thinking the next time I can just convince Tom that he needs to ride in the sandhills in Nebraska and Colorado. Find some trail there that's been written about in Bikepacking magazine. And I can go play all the epic golf courses around Mullen. Well, I just had to pedal. Not sure I like this. Hi. I don't know. Probably worth it to have the bell on, for sure. Yeah. I don't need to be disemboweled on this point in the trip. Gotta be a good song about the Rocky Mountains I could be singing right now. Recorded Dumb and Dumber enough on this trip. Go for some extra gloves right about now. Now Andrew has me thinking about playing golf. Suddenly the wheels are rolling a little faster. Okay, Google, what are the green fees at Whitefish Golf Course? Where's the first tee? What's the course record? It's been great. We did the thing. We got the stickers. Ugh. But now you have me thinking about what the greens fees are at Whitefish Golf Course.
Yeah. If you want to go, we have time, I'll go. I'm happy to caddy it.
We'll see what they say. Actually, we'll see what shape we're in when we get down there. Yeah, yeah. All right, sit rep halfway down the mountain on the third and final day of real riding. Feeling like I've seen the light at the other side of the tunnel. Day one was a slog. Day two, that climb at the end, it's painful, and mentally it's just trashed. Physically, obviously, as well. Another round of food and sleep refreshed me, but my body's about done with this. I won't be moving normally again for a couple days. I'm gonna do a lot of stretching and a lot of foam rolling, and there's still a little bit of golf to be played yet this year back in Wisconsin. Lower altitude. I think Sam's probably gonna invite me for one more round at the country club, and we'll see if we can get a low score in. Do something with the handicap that way. Or just enjoy the day, either way. It is Sunday, the Lord's Day. Those select few that are up for it. Sunday morning here feels like a church of its own. This is the last day of our trip.
Oh, last day.
Yeah.
How far did y'all go?
54 miles the first day, 38 yesterday, and just 30 something into Whitefish today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Y'all live locally? Or?
No,
No.
not at all. We rode the Amtrak from La Crosse, Wisconsin
Oh,
to
okay.
Whitefish.
Oh, from across. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Lock up at the station and walk. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, that doesn't sound bad. Have to do a little research once we find signal. Yep, 2 of them. Yes, they are. .65% battery still.
I can't even see it. I hear it. It's on the other side of the tree.
Correct.
Oh, whoa. It's much farther away than I imagined.
Yeah, I got us 14.3 miles in so far. Hour and 29 minutes.
Since the campsite?
Nope.
That can't be. There's no way there's 20 miles left. It's a 36-mile day.
Don't know what to tell you, man.
Well, either way, it's going good.
Mm-hmm. Could just be some zigzaggy drop between here and town.
Could be. I'm pretty much out of food. I have 3 peanut butter cups left.
I think I have one more Cliff Bar after this one. And have whatever bird or rodent we catch along the way. And about a third of a pack of Skittles.
Ooh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Once we rejoined civilization, Andrew and I followed our noses to a Mexican restaurant for some life-giving burritos and drinks before the rest of the guys eventually joined us.
Hey boys.
Hey!
How y'all doing?
Oh yeah. Hungry. That was quite a descent. You guys want me to go get some burritos for you?
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just treat your body and mind. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time.
I've got 3 miles to ride in the morning, but otherwise the riding is done. We're here at Whitefish State Park for the last night. Pretty incredible trip. I've heard lots of people refer to that as the trip of a lifetime, and I feel blessed to know that it's not the only trip like this that I'll ever make. With these people, hopefully there are more to come. The bike didn't treat me bad either. I know I'm coming away stronger, and specifically in those areas, but also some more practice on the bike packing methodology and practices here. The tent is great. The sleeping bag, because of the weather,
was a necessity. Just other gear assessment here. I wore these North Face kind of hiking shoes the whole time. I have riding shoes and decided against wearing them, and in the end don't regret not wearing them at all. So could have left those at home and gone with a camp shoe of some kind, my slip-ons, you know. Didn't get the drone out enough, really. There's still time to do that, although I don't want to wreck anybody else's good time, and there's a lot of other people around. So just being aware of my surroundings and, you know, allow other people to take in the nature without the buzzing going around. So I probably could have taken some more drone footage as we rolled out of camp this morning, halfway down the hill, that kind of thing. Now we have a train ride back, so 26 hours out, 26 hours back, give or take. Got to figure out a food and beverage scenario because the train food and beverage was kind of laughable. Need to bring more snacks on the train, beverages on the train. One more night and then back to normal. We set alarms for earlier than anyone wanted on Monday. When we awoke, the Amtrak app greeted us with the news that the eastbound train was running 3 hours late out of Spokane. This delay allowed us to have breakfast and beverages in a local coffee shop and play a round of Ticket to Ride, if only for the irony. We had one more sample of huckleberry pie in the park by the train station before we finally boarded our eastbound train. Some of the last excitement on our trip came when the Whitefish ticket agent denied one of us a boarding pass after he misplaced his ID. There was a period of mad scrambling where we rapidly planned, frantically sprinted, sneakily conspired to support a brother left behind, bargained with the conductor, threw a bike and bags over a security fence, and ultimately were allowed to board with all of our bikes and bodies. As the already late train rolled out of Whitefish, we all looked around stunned that it had simply worked out. And with that excitement behind us, we settled in for the long train ride home. I didn't go on this trip to make a film about an adventure. I went on the trip to have the adventure with these friends. The camera was an afterthought. I assumed I would capture some glimpses of amazing scenery, capture a feel for the grind of riding so much and carrying so much, and maybe record a few jokes that were much funnier if you were actually there. I had no idea I would be telling a story at all. I was on the trip for the adventure and the camaraderie that would continue to grow with this experience. I went to test the limits of my body and my mind, and those tests were successful. The adventure granted me an intentional discomfort and discontinuity that we all start to yearn for when the regular routine starts to feel too routine. I was gone from my home and my family and my projects and work for 6 days on a trip with 5 of the best men I know. I was disconnected from the outside world for nearly 72 hours without an email or text message, without scrolling social media or checking a fantasy football lineup. I read a little when the trip was slow, I listened to a little music when the miles got too long, and I hit reset on routine. I pedaled 270 pounds of body, bike, and gear over 120 miles through Rocky Mountain back roads and trails over this 3-day stretch, camping for 4 nights with the gear that I carried and the men that mostly led the way. I slept in coach on the Empire Builder both ways and let the occasional bump or sway rock me to less than perfect but much needed sleep. the 6 of us struggled, strived, and in the end succeeded in our quest, bringing back memories and stories that will no doubt be remembered and recounted for years to come. This video is simply here to tell the world that we did this. That I did this. I thank you for coming along on this journey, and I hope you'll have some journeys of your own. I hope you'll buy in. I hope you'll take the leap, dig deep, and find out something about yourself. I hope you'll share the road with great friends. I hope you make a plan and that your well-laid plans can come to fruition. And I hope you never need to use your bear spray.
Are your bikes in the front? Yeah, so that's a little bit of spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, next scheduled station stop coming up in just a few moments will be Nettle across Wisconsin. If the hometown of LaCroix Sparkling Water is your scheduled station stop, then please make your way center of your car downstairs, lower level, be ready to exit the train this time. LaCroix, Wisconsin, coming up.